Welcome back. This is Fantastic Pains and How We Hide Them. I'm not Chris.
And I'm not Karina.
But we're here together.
As usual.
But not as usual because we are on the couch.
Yeah, we've recovered the couch from the corner of the room that was covered.
Uncovered it. Haha.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha.
And then we put a cover on it and called it good.
Yes. So we're on the couch today because we are just going to be loosey-goose because that's how we feel about life right now.
Yeah.
Because we both got sick since last we saw each other.
Yeah.
Which was not fun. Did not enjoy. Was not good. And this is the third time we're trying to shoot this episode.
Yeah.
Because we've both been like so out of it. And then, you know, stuff happens.
Yeah, life.
So there's your candid introduction for the day.
Only professional ones from here on out.
Now I shall revert back into my stage persona. Just kidding. No, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
Unless it's, what you're throwing a fit about.
Go ahead, I guess. So if this is your first time joining us, hello and welcome. We are two zebras, meaning that we have Ehlers-Danlos type 3 or hypermobility type. As well as a slew of other fun conditions that, you know, genetics has blessed us with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we have the mental covered. We have the physical covered.
Yep.
You name it. We got it somewhere.
Yep. Or we
There's a sibling that'll cover that spot for us.
Yes. So this is our platform where we kind of just expose the suffering in the world and kind of through some morbid humor and you get what you get, literally. Like this is how this is gonna go. But where can they find us?
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube, say hi. And we're also on podcast platforms like Spotify and Amazon and a couple smaller ones, but not Apple. We're not on Apple. Yeah,
No Apple.
No.
You can also find us on TikTok. There's some fun stuff in there. Usually stuff that doesn't make it into the show or snippets of things that we find hilarious. And so
sometimes people think they're funny.
Right. So it's just sibling time. It's fun.
Yeah.
I think we've covered most everything but the Discord.
Oh yeah, please join our Discord.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can go to commune with the other invisible illness sufferers.
Yes. And there's some really amazing people on there who have just been absolutely fantastic in the year that we've been doing this. So hello, and we appreciate you guys so much. So if you're new, go head over there and check it out. Aside from that's
it.
I think we're ready to begin, which means that it is time for the weekly recap.
Check in.
Indeed. So it's not going to be so much a weekly recap because time doesn't mean anything to my brain.
Right.
At all.
Technically, it's been like almost 2 weeks since
pretty close
our last video.
Yeah.
But
we'll try to touch on some of the more linear things, I guess. Yeah. Like group.
Or the tooth incident.
Yes. Or the illness.
I mean, that's what it is. We've outlined it. You now know that it's tooth related. There's therapy drama, and we got sick.
Yep.
We got really sick. I'm still sick.
Yeah.
That's why my voice is so low.
Yeah, and I'm still recovering. I'm on the mend, but not great either still. So, I guess we'll just kind of shoot this back and forth and see where we wind up, because
that's fun by me.
I can't think in a straight line right now.
I can't think
or ever.
Straight.
I'm more thinking by like
you would.
Just kidding. So let's see. So last week
you started by getting sick.
Yes. So last week, if you were there for the weekly recap, I was like, I was sick, but I wasn't sick, and I'm not sick, and I thought I was sick, but I might not be sick, and it might just be MCAS. No, I got sick.
That's exactly what happened to me too.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally the same bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got sick. So I had been sick for a while, and I was like, and I tried not to give it to you so hard, because each day he was like, are you going to come over and hang out? And I was like, I might be sick. I might be sick. I might be sick. I don't know. And then I come over and I get you sick.
No regrets.
It's great.
I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a fun bug that we have had. It was like started way up here and then has like slowly moved down into the body as time goes on.
Yep.
Like I lost my voice, and then I lost like 3 days to fevers and being ill.
Yep.
It was just not good.
Wow.
It was not fun. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but like it's the longest bug I've had in a while.
It's just slow. That's the problem. It lingers too much.
Right. Well, and it's one of those like I could be doing things, but I don't want to like set myself back or make it worse.
Yeah.
And so you're not like laid out necessarily.
I kept doing that. I kept trying to play games with people because everyone's like, come on, play online with me. And I would try, and then I would start dying after a little bit.
Yep.
And then I'd lay down.
Yeah, it was great.
It's not fun.
Let's see. The tooth drama.
My tooth drama.
I
I think we talked a bit about it last time, didn't we?
Yes.
We talked about how they removed the tooth and they punctured the sinuses. Because that's where we were.
That's where we were, yeah.
We had just had them patch it up, and then we recorded.
That's true, because it was right before our live last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, after that, it did not heal very fast. No. It's still not very happy.
Well, and then you sneezed.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sneezing
the block.
with my mouth open and everything. I'm trying my damnedest. There's no pressure in my mouth, no nothing. I think it's healed enough now, but
It was slow.
We went to go fill the prescriptions she wrote, which was for amoxicillin and then Tylenol 3s, which I was going to take like in between doses of my normal pain meds.
Yep.
Except that she didn't write in the number to dispense, so we turned it in on Saturday, and the pharmacist was like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yep.
Like, we'll get a hold of her, but except, it was the weekend.
And then the 4th of July.
And then the 4th. And then, yeah. So, like Wednesday, almost a week later, they're like, come pick up your Tylenol 3s. And I'm like, okay.
Yep.
I guess.
Did they help at all?
They did a little.
Okay.
Like, it was like the pain had gone down enough to where it was manageable with the Tylenol 3s.
Good.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then, what else? I thought there was something else that happened that...
Oh, they just... so they didn't give you any aftercare instructions and then called you.
Yeah.
During our live, actually, that was really funny. They called during the live.
From their home phone.
Yeah. It had her name and everything on the, oh my God.
Yep.
To give instructions. And they were just weird. And it wasn't nice. And it sucked. And the whole thing sucked. And it just wasn't a fun time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not great. But it's mostly better now.
Yeah, tomorrow I see an endodontist to look at some other stuff.
Good.
But he's so well reviewed, we can actually go to him for, he does family practice.
That's awesome.
So if he's good, we might actually have a dentist.
That would be fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
you'll have to let me know who and where, and I'll have to see if they're covered by my insurance.
Yeah.
Not that it matters, because dental insurance is a scam. Just saying.
Yeah, no shit.
It was terrible. Dental is always terrible. But,
Well,
sorry, I'm
and
looking
with
at...
being sick anyways, like with all the sinus action that's been going on, I couldn't tell what was the sinus pain, what was pressure, what was me coughing too hard, what was... Like, it's just all been in the back of my face. I'm like, just stop. I'm done.
Yeah.
I was icing it all over the place, trying to...
Oh, yeah. You can put Apothecana. If you put Apothecana on your sinuses, that helps. And then it helps for, like, headaches and everything. I just love it. So if you don't know what that is, it's a topical that is, like, cannabis-based. And it's fantastic. So if you are like a Tiger Balm person, this is a way less uncomfortable and smelly way to go. And it actually works. And it works for nerve pain, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it helps with joints.
Yeah.
Like, I was surprised.
It helps with everything. It's so good. I love it. Sorry.
No,
Just
hey,
cut
it's
you
a
off
tool.
to advertise. They're not even sponsoring us. So there you go.
They could someday.
They could. We need to just reach out.
Yeah. We believe in your product. Please.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, let's see. So we did that, and then I got sick. I mean, that's been it.
Yeah.
I've been sick for like 5 days. I was in bed for 2-3 of them, and I was running fevers the whole time.
Yeah.
And like I told you before we started, I kept having the dream where you're doing the thing you have to do. You have a thing. So I think mine was like, tell Jen to call so and so, and so I did it, And then I woke up and I was like, okay, remember, have Jen call us. So I told Jen.
Uh-huh.
Then I woke up again. And then I was like, oh, I'm up. I'm going to tell Jen. Nope, still dreaming.
Inception. Just the annoying kind.
It was like 7 rounds of that before I finally got the real Jen.
It's so frustrating. And I hate fever dreams. There's just something about it that blurs the line in between like dreaming and being awake. And I don't like that.
Yep.
I have a hard enough time already with fatigue. Thanks. Let's see what else. Therapy. But dysautonomia has been absolute hell.
Oh boy.
Just
let's talk about dysautonomia.
Awful. Like awful. So if you don't know what that is, it is a dysfunction in not the central nervous system, but the autonomic nervous system, which handles things like breathing and your heart rate and temperature and sweating and all of those things that your body is supposed to be able to do automatically without you thinking about it. But blood pressure.
But blood.
There's none of that to be found anywhere. It's been absolutely awful. So like standing for any length of time is extremely difficult. I've had a few days where I'm like, I literally can't be upright.
Okay. See, I thought it was my meds was making that happen because I'm on that new beta blocker. But
it's awful.
Standing. That one got me. I was standing and helping Jen with something and I got dizzy. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, I almost passed out in a Walmart. That was the other fun thing that came with that. Ha ha.
Oh.
Ha. Oh. It was great. It was so fun. I just have like taken to doing things really quickly, and then I went with my husband, so it was less quickly.
Yeah.
And not on my like keep moving beat, and so that makes it really hard. And then it's been different this year because it's just been getting worse anyway.
Yeah.
And then talking to my neurologist it helps a lot to know what is going on for sure and be like, no, this is dysautonomic.
Yeah.
And it's going to be worse in the heat. End of story. Because the heat makes it difficult. It just disrupts your electrical signals, apparently.
Right. Mm-hmm. Which explains why I live in Iceland.
Yes.
Well, Greenland, but you know what I mean.
We try to make it very cold where we live. I have a swamp cooler.
She has a swamp.
65 degrees is great. That's where I want to live.
Yeah.
But it's been really difficult. But standing and moving around is
my favorite
hard.
Was last night and the night before. I was laying on top of the covers, and it's 68 degrees in the room with air moving, so it's even colder feeling, and I was sweating. Yeah, I was just profusely sweating.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm not moving. My heart wasn't racing. I thought maybe like I was feeling tacky. No, just sweating.
Just losing
all the liquid in my body through my pores.
Well, and oh my God, did I tell you that the neurologist said we lose about 1 liter of liquid in the night just like breathing?
No.
We lose that much moisture to our breath, and it's worse here because it's so dry.
Yeah.
And then you add things like night sweats, which are back, and I hate them. And like,
that does explain a lot, actually, because I'll wake up at night and I chug a bunch of water and then go back to bed.
Yeah. Huh. So, for dysautonomia, he was saying that we need about 2.5 liters of water per day.
Yeah.
And then in in really bad spells of near.
That's a lot of water.
What was I saying? Near syncope. There you go. So like near syncope episodes, you can chug 500 milliliters, and that's supposed to make it better.
And that's 1/3 of this bottle.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah. So we're supposed to drink 1.5 of these. That's a lot.
How much is that?
This is 1.5.
1.5. Oh, okay.
So
weird.
It'd be like this whole thing and then a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I do Gatorade, which
magical Gatorade that she makes.
Yeah. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't help like liquid IV. But I hate liquid IV. And there's something different. Okay. So see if you can relate with me real quick, because water is too thin and I have a hard time swallowing it. It wants to go into my sinuses.
Yeah.
But when I make Gatorade, it's slightly more viscous, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to swallow.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes, but
Right?
it's usually when I'm having like the gastroparesis stuff anyways.
Yeah.
Like if I'm having trouble swallowing, it's everything. It's not
Yeah.
just like
Right.
big food. It's like, drink some water, that'll help. No, it'll just start drowning me. Like,
Right? And you're like,
can't
I'm going to
swallow.
shoot it directly the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because soft palate bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else in the weekly recap?
No. Oh, we could talk about that.
Back
We just.
scans.
Oh yeah. Ha.
Sorry.
So remember those back scans? I do. They were pristine. They came back perfect.
Beautiful.
There was still scar tissue, but it was
Yeah.
nothing that they were worried about.
Right.
They're thinking it's like a pinched nerve
Mm-hmm.
somewhere between my hip and my feet on both sides.
Right. Well, but now we have a new thought too, because after I saw the
Oh
neurologist,
yeah, give that.
and told him about the like losing sensation in my hands, which I really thought was like a Lyrica gabapentin thing.
Yeah, totally.
And he was like, "Nope, that is small fiber neuropathy."
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, it'll show up on the nerve test anyways. No, if it's progressed to where I'm losing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
feeling in cause it starts out as tingling, but I'm losing like full on.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Yeah,
it would show up.
yeah, for sure. Mention it to them and see if it's on their radar,
Yeah.
because that's what I was told. And he was like, "Yep, nope, that's just a thing now." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
That's fine. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
I was gonna say we should talk about the number we just hit.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's like the last thing in the update
Right?
in
That's
our
so crazy.
weekly recap.
Well, and I'm glad we waited, because it's taken a minute for it to get there, but we gained quite a few new people this week. And hello and thank you for subscribing. We're so excited you're here.
Yep.
And we have surpassed 150 subscribers on YouTube.
Right now we're 151.
Yeah. Which is so cool. So cool. I'm really excited. And just like blown away, and it's bizarre and weird that you're here. But hi, and also thank you for being here.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, crazy. So we'll have to celebrate with the Discord later
Yeah.
and get on there and let everybody know.
Are we gonna do a live tomorrow?
We should be able to.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, yeah. I don't see any reason why not.
I have the dentist in the morning, but it's just like
Okay.
They'll do X-rays and that's it.
What time is that?
Like 10.
Oh, okay. I was like, therapy?
Oh.
10:30 is therapy.
Yeah. Let me look.
But I might be doing that by myself, which is fine.
No. I go in at 1.
Oh, okay. Nice. So we will be at therapy.
Yeah.
And therapy last week was fine.
It's unfulfilling.
Yeah. I'm bored. And annoyed that I'm bored. And they keep shutting me down because they're like, that's too much. Too many word.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Or translating you into something else.
Right? And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's not what I meant. But okay. So, yeah, I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll have to.
It could be a good week.
We will see. I'm not like hopeful, but we'll see. They're working on a new thing, which is the safety and trust modules.
Yeah.
So I think we'll get into that more this coming Friday, tomorrow. And we'll see. So join us for our lives. This obviously is a week behind, so don't join us for that live. But check us out. We generally do a Friday live in the Discord.
At least for the summer.
Yeah. As long as we can manage it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing it during the school year. Just
Like
depended.
bi-weekly.
Yeah. So, all right, cool. You ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
What are we going to talk about today?
I don't know. What does the notebook say?
Our notebook has some notes in it. Like any good notebook should.
Wow. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the way we worded it. There was
Which one?
You said something and then I was like, "Ooh, Morgan just said something like that in the chat." And I
Oh,
forgot
I
what
was
it
talking about like
the first idea.
Oh, wondering if I'm as independent as I think I am.
Yes.
Yeah. So that like weird imposter-y thing. And it really goes with what's going on in group also, because that has me questioning myself all over the place anyway. So do you want to pull out Morgan's comment? Or I can pull it out?
Yeah, like I can't because my phone would
Okay.
is connected to the
Where
camera.
was
Episode review, I think.
episode review?
Or
Okay.
or it was in symptoms.
Symptom talk.
Symptom
and
talk,
ending. Let's see.
I think it was symptom talk.
Oh, it was. So Morgan said, sorry, Morgan, we're calling you out. I apologize. I'm having one of those moments where I'm completely doubting myself and wondering if I'm not just actually faking my pain or interpreting normal unpleasant experiences as being abnormal because I'm just soft. I love imposter syndrome about my own pain. Always so fun.
That's the best part, is that it's always your fault.
Yeah.
It's like, clearly I'm normal. I can tell that I'm normal.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I handle life like everyone else can?
Right.
Am I just weak?
Right.
It's like,
Well,
what? Stupid brain.
It's that specific brand of imposter syndrome has been there since conception.
Mm-hmm.
Like, always. It's always been there. And so we have days where, like, you'll wake up and have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute you have a good day, you're like, oh, I must have been faking everything that came before this.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why we're always so worried that other people interpret us differently,
Mm-hmm.
because we doubt ourselves when we have a good day.
Right.
So imagine how everyone else is viewing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's hard because, like we've talked about, we only see each other and people only see us through this tiny little window of space.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't always see what's going on behind the scenes, and we don't always see what's going on behind the scenes. And so it's hard to, like, we want people to believe us and we want to, like, visualize that.
Yeah.
But oftentimes we're looking for evidence against.
Yeah.
Right.
You gotta love it. The brain is a powerful machine.
It's so stupid. But it does. It goes right with, like, what happens to us during surgery. In the surgical times.
The best thing. You'll wake up from surgery and you assume that they've cut you open, looked at it, and then closed you up and put it back.
Yep.
Like, oh, nothing was wrong, but now they'll shut up about it because they think
Right?
we did it.
Yeah.
Like placebo surgery.
Yeah. Like, they're just humoring us.
Yeah.
Going in, and nothing was actually wrong, and that's why we recover from surgery so well or
Which is
so
why
quickly.
I always insist on getting the photos so that I can look at it and be like,
Exactly.
look, brain, there's damage. Look how
Uh-huh.
clean it is now.
Look at how pretty they made this
Mm-hmm.
and how long the surgery actually took.
Yeah.
That's another one. And, like, it was so weird when I had my hip done because I was recovering so well that I was like, it clearly wasn't that bad.
Right.
But then I got in to see the PT. I liked her. She was funny. Little tiny Indian woman. And she was like, no, you've had your bone shaved down, because she was telling my husband, because he was like, yeah, like, it's not that. He didn't understand how much was
Right.
done in the surgery. And so she was like explaining it, I guess. And she was like, no, you had your bone shaved down to where the marrow, like, could be seen. Looking at your record, like, it's like you had broken your hip.
Yeah.
That's what that pain should be like. And I was like, oh.
Interesting.
Huh. Fascinating.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, not believing our own selves, and then the mental gymnastics that has to come into play in order to maintain that weird line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So bizarre. So bizarre. And it's hard, especially when you're undiagnosed, which I get. Like, and I think that's where Morgan's coming from.
I was going to say, Morgan, you're valid.
Yeah.
We know that you're real.
Right.
You're not faking it.
Well, and it
We all
goes into
do.
that, like, just because people don't see it in their tiny little glimpse of you doesn't mean that it's not happening in that other broad view of you. Like, EDS is painful, and the people who say it's not, shush.
Yeah.
Like, no, you have Marfans. That comment.
That one.
Ooh, I don't think we went over that last week, and I don't know where to find it anymore.
The
But
gist of it was that this lady went into her pain management clinic like normal.
yeah,
Saw someone different than she normally sees.
yeah,
Wasn't that
it
it?
was like a PA.
Yeah, and they looked at her record and went, oh, it says here you have Marfans, and there's no sign, like, that doesn't come with pain.
Right.
She's like, I have EDS, and it does come with pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know about that.
Right.
And
But,
then,
like,
was that the same guy who refused to look things up on Google?
yes. Oh, we did talk about it last week, actually.
Yeah.
Yep. No, but it's that same thing. Like, we get fed a bunch of this medical trauma, and then in order to continue living, we internalize pieces of it because that's what's being thrown at us 90% of the time when we're seeing people like that.
Yeah.
And it's hard, and it disrupts trust in those, like, structures.
Yeah.
But then it goes into this, like, I don't know, outside of medical, we question it all too.
Yeah, it's kind of like you take. Well, I imagine the experience just kind of paints itself permanently on you, right?
Yeah.
Even if you know that doctor's an asshole and doesn't like you, you're still gonna kind of like alter your view.
Right.
And if the professionals feel this way about you, imagine what normal people will feel about you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good way to put it. Actually, I hadn't thought about that connection of like, oh, professionals don't understand me or believe me or whatever it is.
Right. I was just thinking.
So maybe
back to
the problem is me.
The before days when I was insane and I just needed to exercise my pain away because I was atrophied because I use a keyboard.
Yep. Oh, and I was 12, 14, and I had carpal tunnel and tennis elbow.
Yeah.
What? No. What? Yeah. No. But it's hard to not internalize those things that we're being fed constantly. And then you look at it and you're like, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy.
I wonder if that's part of like a brain mechanism for protection.
I think it has to be like socially.
Right. Like, how do you fit in when everyone thinks this about you? Do you just go with it so that you're part of it? You're like in with the group.
Right.
So like, you don't have EDS. No, I don't have EDS. No, you're right. It's not. I'm just crazy.
Yep.
Just me being me.
Right. Well, and I think that's like, that's the beginning of masking, right? Is like, hide that. Hide it. They won't believe you. So you have those like statements that you bring to yourself.
Yeah.
And then in order to maintain your peer groups and that like pack mentality, I guess, we hide it and we learn to mask and then we push it away and we make it go away. Or
you just go, hey, the professional said this. I'm going to, I guess, adopt it.
Right.
Like, but that's not, it's not fair.
Right. No, and it's not. And that's the hard part is like trying to, he's dying.
Yeah, I'm going to cough a lot. Sorry.
It's okay. I don't remember what I was saying. Sorry.
I've ruined everything.
We'll see if it comes back around. I don't remember where I was at all. Help.
We were talking about professionals.
Oh, yeah. So, remembering that professionals, just because they are professionals doesn't make them right.
Exactly.
And that is hard because we want them to be right because that's their job.
You want to know what's more validating?
Huh.
When you talk to a doctor and they go, oh, yes, absolutely. Treat us like people. Like, there are doctors that have agendas and will be biased.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love it. I love hearing when I think I was talking to Dr. Anna about it.
Oh, really? I was like, that sounds like a David thing to say.
Yes, it was David.
That
was totally David.
Yep.
Or did David?
Oh
wait, I gotta go back to the weekly recap.
Huh. Oh,
well,
yeah.
I didn't talk about David fucking G. We thought that we were having problems getting a hold of him because we had to make sure we had permission to take it. It's coding, but it wasn't like a lot. You want to make sure that your pain management knows what's in your system.
Right, because God forbid, like, it catches them unaware and then you're kicked out of the program.
Right.
That's horrifying.
So, like, we called him. We messaged him twice and called him a bunch on Monday and Tuesday and over the weekend to be like, hey, we have this prescription. Is it okay if I fill it?
Yeah.
Or do you have a suggestion for other things? Like, what would you like to have happen? He's moving buildings right now. So we called MedNow and they took messages, but he's not in that building. Like, so for 4 days we were reaching out to nothing.
Oh my God.
And then we got a hold, they were like, oh, he's at the new building. And then they transferred us. We got a hold of him. The nurse asks him 10 minutes later, we find out, oh yeah, no, it's fine. Please do that.
Oh my God.
And then I was supposed to go in to see David on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I was super fucking sick that day.
Yep.
I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't talk really. And we told them, I was like, is there a way we could do like a telehealth? And she goes and asks David. David's like, yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome.
And then he called me and he was very sweet. He was like, I think everything looks good. Is there anything else you need? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I mean, that's it.
That's so great.
It's like, I hope you feel better. I'm like, yeah, me too. We'll see.
It's so different having like really, I don't know, like in-depth relationships with our caretakers. Like that makes such a difference.
Yeah.
When you're like, I know I can trust you and you're going to treat me like a person and we can have a person relationship.
Yeah.
Instead of playing the power hungry weird games and the ego stroking.
Yeah.
So different.
He also, while we were on the phone, read the messages that we sent him.
Uh-huh.
He was like, I didn't even check. I'm just now reading these. Sorry. He's like, it's been crazy. We're still having issues with the phones. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, to go to him and be like, this is what's going on.
Mhm.
And he's just like, okay.
Yeah.
This is the plan.
Right. So
It's
different.
weird.
So different.
I'm
And
so
it's-
used to getting shut down by the intermediate people. That, like,
right. Like
that'll take the message.
the
and then
interception.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the like scary part, I think, because I've had that happen where I'm like,
Yeah.
please don't even respond to that message. Like, make sure my doctor gets that.
Exactly.
Because you don't have any idea what you're talking
Well,
about.
it leaves it on red so that
Mhm.
they don't read it.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, I need you to like leave this message. Literally just leave it alone. Let me know that they're out of town and I will wait and then get back a hold of them. Because no, I don't want to talk to you. And no, I don't want to talk to the on-call person in the clinic.
Yeah.
Because no, they don't understand what my treatment plan looks like. And that's frustrating too, all by itself.
But yeah, David was a boss. At first, we thought he was ducking us. No. Yeah, if he got our message on day one, he probably would have just responded right away and been like, just
Right.
do this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Right.
I'm so not used to that.
No, it's weird. And it shouldn't be weird. That's the other part that's ridiculous. It shouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. But yeah, man, imposter syndrome is killer. And especially when you're like, am I faking this?
Oh my God.
And then I don't know. For me, I had a really big like light bulb moment when I saw that TikTok that was like, if you're doing it by yourself,
Yeah.
you're probably not doing it for attention.
Exactly.
And I was like,
Yeah, that one hit home for me too. Like,
because that's where we do our most like dramatic, quote unquote, because that's how my brain names it, because that's what I've been told my whole life,
yeah.
right? Like that's where the dramatics come out, is when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, I'm like, it's just
Stoicism.
right. Don't let anyone see. And then
She's
we
so
have
stoic,
imposter
guys.
syndrome.
Oh my God.
Not anymore, though.
No,
now
no.
I'm loud and obnoxious.
She's always been that way. Just now, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to enjoy loud Karina.
I don't mask anymore. And that's, I mean, that goes into the next part of what we are kind of talking about, is that, like, I don't know. For me, it's been me questioning as that, like, am I as independent
Oh yeah,
as
your independent piece.
I thought I am, like, was, or I think I am? Because I don't know. My husband's having a hard time with me going on a business trip to Florida.
Yeah.
I'm not going for Florida.
Go Florida.
Woo!
Yeah, you
Stop
got
it.
this.
Stop it. Just get some help in general. Just saying. But he's not happy with me going because he's concerned about me. And
Yeah.
I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's silly. Don't be concerned about me. But also, I have to think about, and it really kind of made me think about what our progression looks like to other people
Mm-hmm.
and the people who care about us, and how they can misinterpret things
Yeah.
in big ways.
Well, I had something similar going through my head this last week.
Mhm.
Our grandfather lives with us in the basement because he wants to, not because that's where we put him. But I'm always worried that, like, I'm not as active as I was last year
Yeah.
at this time of year.
Mhm.
Just that things are so much worse in general, like system-wide. I was doing a lot more gardening and helping out more, and I'm worried that it's being either interpreted that I'm lazy or that I'm worse than I am.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, and that's what my husband said. He was like, you don't understand all of those, like, events. So every time I almost pass out, or when I've overdone it and I'm in a lot of pain, or like all of those things, I didn't realize he was like collecting as these weird
Yeah.
data points. And I'm like, but you're not interpreting your data correctly.
Right.
But for him, he's like, all of those things are data points and it's in this downhill trend. And I'm like, wait, though, because there's a lot more to it. There is the fact that I'm louder now
Mhm.
about what's going on with me.
Which is healthier.
Right. Like, I don't hide it. So if something's going on with me, I'm going to speak up on it. And I'm going to, like, spit it out.
Yeah.
Right. Which I didn't used to do.
Mm.
And so things were still going on with me, but they were going on with me and I was being quiet about it. So I'm like, that data point, you got to think about differently. And then, like, it's on a downhill trend. I'm like, it depends on what you're looking at and when you're looking at it and what the other factors are.
Yeah.
And all of that is missing. But thinking about like how the people around us see us, or the people who are not so familiar
Yeah.
see us, like at work, I'm sure at times they're like, oh, she's getting worse. And I'm like, in a way, kind of, but also no. Like, I have more and different symptoms now.
Yeah.
Which makes a difference. But I'm also, like, more comfortable with using interventions.
Yeah.
And that makes me more visible also.
Mm-hmm. On the flip side of that, what if you are getting worse? Why is that the end of everything?
Right. I'm
I mean,
like, it's just now. Like,
even if it's like you didn't have EDS,
mm-hmm.
you're still on a downward trend as you get older.
Right. Right.
I'm just...
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know.
I don't think you're losing your independence yet.
Right.
But I'm just... You seem like defensive of it. And I'm like, it's not the end of the world if you are getting worse,
right.
though.
Well, and that's the thing, is I'm like, yes and no,
Right.
because what is worse and what is better, and also every year is different.
Oh yeah, no,
so we can't be like, oh, it's in this like straight down. No,
yeah,
it's doing these like crazy all over the place spiking.
People and how they view us and our want of control of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want them to see the truth,
yeah,
not the like skewed random data points.
Yeah,
I get that hard,
right?
Because it is random. Like, last year I was better off, but the year before that was way worse than I am this year.
Right.
So the graph would look really ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then
and in different areas.
You have to think about, like, what are people seeing? What makes them think we're getting worse?
Mm-hmm.
So, almost passing out. That one is getting worse, but it's also, like, it's developing into full-blown POTS.
Yeah.
Where before it was like, yeah, you have an orthostatic intolerance.
Well, and you know what it is now. Like,
right.
You did before, and you know how to treat it.
Exactly. Like, I have more information about what it is as a whole.
Yep.
Which is going to make a difference long term. It's not doing what it's supposed to be doing now, technically, just because we've just started. So there's that piece. And then there's also, like, what are people seeing? They see you using mobility aids more.
Right.
And they interpret that as you're getting worse. Whereas I interpret that as, like, no, I'm more comfortable being able to use those things when I need them. Yeah. As opposed to before, when I still needed them, but wasn't using them.
The problem with that is you can't, there's no point in that can you play a part. Like, you can't actively use your cane in a way that suggests that you are more comfortable with your cane now than you were last week. Exactly. That isn't going to look like, oh no, I'm more hurt today.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly what it looks like, right? Yeah. People are like, oh, she has a cane. Like, oh, it's dire. And you're like,
well, when you go in with, like, your brace and people are like, what's wrong, miss? Like,
yeah.
Everything always, but...
Right. Just because you are viewing it doesn't make it new.
Right.
Just because you can see it doesn't mean it hasn't always been there.
So we need to make it part of the understanding of EDS.
Yeah.
That it ebbs and flows.
Mm-hmm.
And using your aid doesn't mean things are worse. It means you're being smarter.
Right. Like, I'm being more responsible using my mobility aids. I don't have, because you remember in the beginning, like, every time you had to use one, it felt like a surrender.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it wasn't, this is going to help me. It was, I'm getting worse and I need this.
Yeah.
Like, now it's just like, this is the accommodation that I need.
Yeah. That's why I have a cane
do.
always in Jen's car. And I use it every time, even if I don't think I need it. I use it just to be safe.
Well, and that's why I brought it over here. And it wasn't like, oh, I injured myself. It was like, I am tipping over repeatedly and need to use this.
You scared our grandfather.
Oh, no.
He came to me afterwards, was like, is she okay? I was like, what do you mean? Like, in my head, I didn't say it out loud. I was like, what do you mean she's fine? And then he's like, I just saw her using the cane. And I was like, oh, yeah, no, she's fine.
Well, and I was like loopy because being upright was really hard.
Yeah.
Which is why I needed the cane.
It was, though.
Because I was like, there was no blood in my head. And it's annoying.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm worse.
No.
Like, I'm having a symptom today that needed this mobility aid. I'm being more responsible.
I'm going through the process in my head. I'm actively working through how you change that, right? Like, how do you change the way people perceive it? But there's another viewpoint of me watching me do that going, you're just trying to figure out how to mask a certain way. Like,
and okay,
you're trying to perform. I'm more comfortable with this now instead of I need this now.
Yeah.
But there's no way to do that.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, if you set out to desensitize people, then are you using them as like a showpiece?
Right. Yeah, that's why I was giggling. I'm like, this is a very weird thought process.
It's a very strange thing, because I'm like, people see it and they're like, "Oh my God, you're bad," and then we're like, "No, I just needed this today.
It's what I need.
This is today.
This is my accommodation."
Right, that I have because I'm having a symptom today. It doesn't mean I'm having more or less symptoms.
Yeah.
I'm just being smarter about how I handle them.
Does it bother you if they do think that, though? Like, does it...
That I'm getting worse?
Right.
Yes,
If
because
they
of
know
how they
you?
treat me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because then it turns into this, like, I'm fragile. Which I'm
Which
definitely not.
No.
At all.
I don't think either of us are.
No.
I break, but I'm not fragile.
We've been through all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Oh my God. I had massage yesterday. That was wonderful. Sorry, I know it sounded like I was just like, oh,
I had a massage.
Well,
no,
but he was working in my rotator cuff, and like, and I know it's supposed to be extremely painful.
Oh, that nerve that's back there?
He got into my armpit and then was bringing my arm back and had both sides and working through the armpit. And I have seen videos of like grown men crying having that work done. And he knows me. He knows I'm not like, I don't respond that way to pain.
Yeah.
And he was even warning me. He was like, okay, let me know if it starts to like whatever. And I was like, I can feel that maybe it's supposed to hurt, but
I love that feeling when you know what signal means, but your brain isn't like taking
your brain's
it seriously.
like, it's fine.
It's like, oh, that's the pain signal. Don't go.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So I was like, I can feel like it was fine. And then I was like, oh, there's some pulling on the nerve. And he was like, I'm going to pop your shoulder out if I keep going.
Then don't do that.
Well, because he was just like, because I was like, no, I can feel it's supposed to hurt, but it's fine. He's like, she said it as I pull her shoulder out of its joint.
Yeah.
Because we're not fragile. And it does bother me when people treat me like I'm fragile. Because it feels condescending, I think.
Yeah. Versus like being a visible problem.
How do you mean?
Well, like to other people. Like you're not worried that you're inconveniencing people?
No. By
being handicapped around them?
It's not that. It's that like it feels condescending. It feels like everyone's like, oh my God, don't fall. You're going to break. Like, oh, Karina's a fall risk.
I am a fall risk.
I mean, yes, but also I know how to fall, and I've fallen many thousand times, and it's fine.
True.
It's like I said earlier, like it's going to hurt either way. I may as well earn it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in pain, and I'm going to have a crash at the end of the day. So I'm going to do what I can do and want to do right now. End of story. But now I'm being smarter about it and using accommodations.
Yeah.
But other people take that as, oh, she's getting worse. Like,
does it matter what degree of knowing you? Does it matter like if it's someone you know really well versus someone that you don't?
Like what they think?
Yeah. Like how does it affect you differently? Like,
I don't think that I've like slowed down to think about it that far.
Right.
I just know that like I have a visceral response.
Well, like okay, so like when you blacked out.
Yeah.
And the little person who helped you was wonderful.
Yeah.
Did anybody else around you even register, or were you too focused on?
Well, I got really lucky and there was like no one else at the checkout. So it was her kind of just keeping an eye on the situation.
Yeah.
I think one other person was checking out, but I don't think they were like privy to what was happening because it's Walmart and people look around and they're like, people are weird all the time. So it's not so much how I'm viewed as it is like how I'm treated.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, I could be viewed any which way and I don't technically care unless they're directly interacting with me or have an impact on my life or are somebody that I actually like give a damn about.
So there's, in theory, there's a way that they could approach you, help you, but not be condescending.
Right.
So it's all about, okay.
Yeah. But
there's no way around that.
Exactly.
You can't. There's no control you have in that situation.
And that's the thing is like the more healthy decisions I make, the weirder it looks from the outside.
Yeah.
And then that's the same problem I'm having in my therapy group.
Yeah.
Is like, I'm good at this already. I've done a lot of this work already.
Yeah.
But does it make me look like an asshole? Or like I'm running from everything? And then that makes me question,
If
like,
you are
am I
running
on
for-
the right track?
Right.
Or am I like really in denial? And then I'm like, I don't know what's true anymore.
You imposter syndrome yourself out of existence.
Exactly.
Like, I don't even think I'm a person anymore.
I don't exist.
I'm a construct
confused.
of thought.
Right? Like, and I totally question, like, am I where I think I am? Am I as self-aware as I think I am?
Oh, yeah.
Or
That's
am
always
I
one for me.
playing at being self-aware because I can use that to avoid things? Like,
I still say you're not avoidance. You're not in the avoid category. And people in Discord agree with me.
okay, good.
It doesn't seem like you're running from your problems.
Right? I'm like, I just don't know. But then I'm like, am I really just an amazing performer? Like, you've had that thought.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're like, maybe I'm just really good at this and I'm a psychopath.
Well, when you were labeled a sociopath, my first thought was, am I? Because if Corinne is, then I definitely am. Like,
Right?
that's just saying.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Like, it's so frustrating. And then it's just so hard to explain to people, like, no, it doesn't mean anything.
Mm.
It doesn't mean anything, like, outside of what it means right now, here today.
Mm-hmm.
But other people don't work that way. Because
No.
they're all collecting, like, data points, or they're looking for patterns.
So really, it's like a societal issue with disabled people.
Yeah.
So you got to change the paradigm. We got to think outside of the paradigm.
Yes. Yup.
Think outside of the box.
The box.
The box.
The box.
Ugh.
Right? Like,
Yeah, because like I said, you have no control over that. Which is like,
none.
I wish there was like a type of cane. You could have like the injured person who needs that cane. Oh, I know that cane.
Right.
Or like a color scheme's like, oh, that person's being responsible. Good for you.
Right?
We're, like, what do we candy cane them in a certain
Oh
way?
my God, I need like a vest I can wear, like a service dog or something.
A zebra vest. Oh, she's
like-
EDS. Gotcha.
Right? Which is also interesting because, oh my gosh, Marvel just canonized a zebra Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which is interesting. And they are ambulatory as well. Ambulatory wheelchair users exist, right?
Mhm.
So people who are not paralyzed use wheelchairs. And they have like cuff canes that they use.
Wheelchairs.
Right? Like I've used wheelchairs at the airport because it's just easier.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
Yeah.
And I use my cane when A, something in my lower half is not working well, or B, I'm not good at standing.
Yeah.
When I use my knee brace when my knee is messing up, or if my hip was out and I have to protect the knee.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many reasons to use so many different things. But how do we educate people about that? We're like, that doesn't mean... Because we have the opposite problem, and people are like way aware of that one, where it's like, you use a handicap pass, and they're like, oh, you're not handicapped enough.
You're coming from, especially people who are handicapped.
Yeah.
There's the, I'm more handicapped.
Yeah.
Well, I've been through more. Well, okay. It's comparative, I guess.
Okay, right? Like, let's not. It's not good. But, like... Ooh.
Ugh.
But that's the brand of my imposter syndrome these days.
Mm.
I'm, like, questioning, am I as independent as I thought I was?
Mhm.
Or am I losing that? And I'm not
Both.
ready to admit it. Like,
I don't think it's a matter of admittance, but
right.
it's like a scary thought to come up to,
Yeah.
you know, because if yes, then the list.
Right.
But
Right.
I don't think it's that severe. I think you're getting worse, but like aging wise.
Right.
I don't think like you've become in the last month or 2 months like something's been more
Right.
dislocated or
Right. Well, and then my poor husband has been, like, freaking out. The Florida trip scares him because I'm going to be far away. And God forbid something happen. And his, like, big fear is, like, what if you die? And I'm like,
we have life
but
insurance. it's
why
fine.
would I die?
He's like, what if someone hired a hitman and you died when they were there? Why would you say that? Interesting.
I don't have life insurance, so...
That you know of.
Oh, no.
You don't have to be an
Oh,
active
my
participant.
God. That's so weird to me that you can
Yeah.
take out life insurance on somebody that, like, doesn't sign off on it. Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, frustrating.
It is.
It's really frustrating, and it's hard to like be questioning yourself through it all too.
Right. Well, it's like, how do you have an informed decision when you don't know how you are?
Right. I'm like, am I aware?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is my view of reality? And that's a very broad question.
I always question that. I've always questioned it.
Right?
I always just assume that I'm like that I interpret the way people act as one way, but it's different. So like they're always talking down to me and being like, "Oh, cute, he's participating." Like, you know, when I'm not actively paying attention to them.
Right.
I've had that since I was a kid. Since I was little, I was like,
yeah,
I exist. I'm a lot dumber than I thought I was, and everyone's talking down to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. It's a rough one. I don't know. Are you ready for a break?
Yeah, we can take a break.
Looking a little fidgety.
I feel better. The meds kicked in.
Good.
So now I'm like, let's go.
Like, yeah, let's go get warm. So we will, I guess, leave you with that thought of my existential crisis. My experiential crisis. There you go.
Yeah.
What do they need to do for break time?
I say this every week. Where's the Venmo money?
We have to give them a Venmo address first.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Why haven't you joined the Patreon? We don't have one, so don't actually look. There's no one.
There's no Patreon.
Take your meds if you forgot, or it's time.
Yep.
Take a break if you can, and it's an okay time to do so.
Yep.
I mean, if you're like a heart surgeon and you're mid surgery, don't take a rest. That's
Please
just
don't
rude.
take. No. Don't
Also,
take
why
it.
are you listening to us? You're a heart
This is
surgeon.
really weird. It's getting a little meta. You need to stop.
yeah, the one person. Next week, if we're down at 151 or at 150, I'm gonna be mad.
Unsubscribe right now.
Also, just do something nice for yourself.
Yeah.
You're worth the time and effort.
Absolutely. And you're worth more than you can produce and get like accomplished.
I always
and
like
that's
that one.
important.
I always get caught on that.
Right? 'Cause
Like,
you're
I'm not producing anything. I'm a not good person.
therefore I am worthless. No. Your existence matters because your existence matters, and that's it.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. So water, meds, have a snack, because you are a snack. And see if you can see some sunlight. Maybe use some sunscreen, but sunlight.
Or thunderstorms. I'm just
That
saying.
too.
If there are thunderstorms, enjoy them.
That
please.
was really nice the other day. We had a really good one come
It was.
through.
I like opening up my window just listening to it.
Yes.
And then we had that sideways rain,
Uh-huh.
and it went right into the room. And we don't have a screen, so
Oh,
I got
no.
soaked for like a good 10
I had to,
seconds
like,
before I shut it.
I shut all the windows literally right before it was sideways. And I was like, yes, winner.
Okay, we're going to go now.
Yes. So take care. We'll be back in a moment. Bye-bye. Fantastic Pains now has merch. I know we've been promising it for a while, but it is here. You can find our stuff at fantastic-pains.creator-spring.com. We have t-shirts, hoodies, leggings, wine coolers, I guess you can call them, and my very favorite backpack. So take a minute, go check us out.
Welcome back. We may have started at a weird point, but
We did.
it was a good break.
Yes. We had a break, and then we started, and then food appeared.
It did.
And so we stopped so we can eat, and now we're fed
Yeah.
and happy and kind of sleepy.
Yes. Very much.
But we have more energy for more things.
Yeah.
We were actually just talking about existence as a whole.
Yeah, we were getting deep.
So join us for Existential Crisis Man.
Or woman.
Existential Crisis Person.
Being. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I hope you did some things and took care of yourself over the break. I hope you are well hydrated today. Drink your water,
Mm-hmm.
not coffee,
Coffee's not a meal.
not a beer, like water, not apple juice.
This is not water.
water. No, you can have apple juice. That's fine.
Fred Bob
Pardon
George.
me, sir. Get your tail in that hole.
Anyway, so we're gonna pick up on part 2, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we were gonna talk about what's the overarching idea? Avoidance.
Yeah. like questioning avoidance. So we're going to take some of those like imposter syndrome things that we talked about in the first half,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to kind of break them down and try to explain them in a way that makes sense.
Yeah.
And kind of just double checking our thinking, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But also maybe some of you relate to this, and it's a hard thing to explain. And there's not like a good point in time to explain it to
Right.
people. So
No, that's a
yeah,
good point.
we'll see where we go with it. So we're going to talk about the exchange system mindset. We're going to talk about baseline, like our personal baselines. And we're going to talk about self-care.
All of which I have problems with.
He just has problems with me. Just on the regular.
So
I am the problem.
you're my baseline.
I'm the baseline. Oh, God. Oh, no. I can't be your baseline and my baseline. This is messed up.
Double base.
Perfect.
Anyways, we could talk about the exchange system first.
Yeah.
And how we pay for things in pain.
Yep.
That's what we came up with before we had food.
I get paid in pain.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's the I deserve a clean house and a hurt body transactional system.
Yes. Because like I said in the first half, like it's going to hurt anyway. I may as well, like part of me is like, I may as well earn the hurt. So I'm going to do things that would make normal people hurt.
Yeah.
I guess.
No, I get that. That's my motivation a lot of the times.
Right?
Like normal people, I could do that.
Right?
And then, the back of my brain's like, it's going to hurt. Like, yeah, I know.
I'm aware. But
I'm ready.
you know what? It's going to hurt when I crash no matter what.
Yeah.
Because that's the fact of it. There are days like the big POTS days where you don't get up and move around a whole lot, and then nighttime comes and you still crash and it's still horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive into some of that and see what happens, because we're going to question the avoidance of it all.
Yeah.
And whether we're avoiding taking breaks because we're afraid of something, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All those things that I've struggled with this group therapy, and we're gonna kind of just go into it and explain it.
Yeah.
Which will be nice. So the exchange system.
Mm-hmm.
Where should we start with that one?
Well, I mean, we kind of already said it. I could speak English, I swear. Just not right now. When we make plans or when we do things, we avoid stopping.
Yeah.
Because there's a physical aspect to it, but
yes.
but we still have to pay for it in pain, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it literally is. It's like, I know that tonight is going to be bad.
Yeah.
I can make it worse, or I can make it so that I still have stuff to do.
Right, exactly. Because you're like, taking it easy is not going to make it not happen.
Right, you still have to do it.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Because this is what my trauma and PTSD and pain therapist was saying. She was saying that maybe if I took more breaks during the day, I wouldn't have that crash. But now that we know there's a physiological reason within POTS, because as soon as we stop moving, all the blood settles.
Yeah.
And so if we can keep moving all day, we can stave off that like POTS reaction.
It's like a POTS crash.
Yeah. And then at the end, when you finally relax, and that's why relaxation is the enemy and has been, is because when we relax, all of the muscles that have been pushing the blood up or holding things together, they all let go.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing to hold anything together, and all the blood in your body pools.
It's kind of like drowning with your clothes on. Like if you're swimming and you stop and you're in your clothes, you're going to weigh yourself down.
Ah, yes.
You see what I mean? Like you're struggling if you stop. If you keep going, you have momentum. You can keep up the pace. It's still going to suck at the end, but
it's true.
You're not going to be fighting again to get going.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, if you do take breaks during the day, it's a fight to make it happen again. Like, once you stop, you're like, you either maintain a certain level of tension. And that for me is like I'm going to watch TikToks, but I'm going to do it in a really crazy twisted up position.
Holding your pressure.
Or I'm going to be like pushing against something or doing something. Like, we don't stop until we know we are allowed to stop.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing else that needs done.
I've been doing this thing lately where I stop, and then after I stop, Austin will get online, or Jen will need me to get online for something. So I have to get going. Okay. And this is like after I've taken my sleep meds.
Oh no.
So like I'm really fighting. I'm fighting off like diphenhydramine, drowsiness, the pooling of my own blood.
Oh my God.
And I get on and I'm like, okay guys, let's do this.
Ooh,
Yeah,
wow.
it's rough.
No, thank you. No.
Because it's funny. I'll make the decision, right? I'll be like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yep.
I'll take everything. Everyone will understand. No one will be mad. And then as soon as like I even notice that Austin's online, I'm like, all right, get up. I'm like, but why?
No.
It'll be fine. You don't like it's
that weird like FOMO.
Yeah, in a way.
Because part of the thing is like when you have momentum, because of those weird POTS days,
Yeah.
we never know what we're going to be able to get accomplished when, right? And then when you have a day where you have momentum, you're like, we should get everything done.
Yeah.
Because I don't know when I'm going to feel like this again.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe is some kind of avoidance. It's like, I don't know. And it does contribute because if we do that, if we do all the things in one day,
Mm-hmm.
we're usually wrecked the next day.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like, I could do part of it today and then part of it tomorrow, but I still don't know if I'm going to feel motivated tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the big one, is the motivation.
Exactly. I'm like, I was motivated to do everything and then I got interrupted or told to go to bed or like,
Yeah.
you're overdoing it.
I've
You
gotten
need to
better
stop.
about doing that, taking breaks and then splitting the task up into
Yes.
days. But
Laundry does not work that way.
on the
It's
opposite
awful.
end, I've also been fighting through things because I was talking about how I would get up after I crash. I've also been trying to take naps or rest during the day, right? So
Yeah.
let's say I get up in the morning and I'm like tidying up the room,
Mhm.
and then I get online for a little bit, and then I'm like, okay, I don't feel good. I'm gonna lay down, so I'll lay down for a bit,
Yeah.
like an hour or two, or I'll fall asleep for a long time, depending.
Right.
But then I get back up and I start doing the same thing again, and then I burn out real quick, and then I go back to bed, and then I wait, and then I get up. Like I keep trying to force it to happen.
I do know what you're talking about because I've had a couple like really bad POTS days where I will sleep and sleep and sleep. And the whole time I'm trying to like drag myself out of
Yeah.
sleep because I know there are things that I could be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like trying to climb a muddy hill.
It really is.
Like you're fighting to get back to consciousness and it's just not working. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you finally do, I basically have to like induce an adrenaline drop.
Yep.
To be able to get up and start doing something.
Yep.
And then even then, I don't know how long it's going to last or if I'm going to go lightheaded and pass out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a fight. But then again, like that's part of why the exchange system is the way it is, where we're like, I'm going to earn
Yeah.
the discomfort I'm going to feel anyway. Right. And then I've got to get what I can get done while I'm in motion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know when the next time I'll be in motion is, and I don't know what I'll have to get done that day.
Yeah. See, it doesn't. None of that screams avoidance to me.
No, it's just how we have to make it work.
Right. And I'm sure like everyone can relate to that. Like,
yeah.
if it were avoidance, I think it'd be more a matter of, I don't know.
Like when I stalling is
Yeah.
avoidance.
Yes.
When I do that thing, like, and this is something that I do usually when there's a storm coming in, actually, because something in my body gets really antsy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like either I'm being squeezed or I'm going to blow up. And that's how pressure changes feel.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, this is going to suck. I'm going to keep doing stuff so that
Try
I
and stop
don't
me.
have to feel it. I
Yeah.
am going to clean the kitchen and wash the dogs and whatever else I can do to stall it out so that I don't have to deal with my bad choices.
Right.
But it's not even my bad choices that I'm avoiding. It's the
Yeah.
inevitable, this storm is bringing in bad times. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it yet.
And
I'm
that's-
not ready.
It's see maybe next time you do group, which is tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
if they start harping you on avoidance stuff, maybe concede that you do that,
Yeah.
so they can see that you're aware of what avoidance is,
Right.
and that you know the difference. Like that way you can be like, I don't avoid stopping for certain reasons.
Right.
I keep doing because I need to.
Right.
Versus like if there's a storm, I will avoid dealing with said storm by being
Uh-huh.
active.
Yes. Or unconscious.
Yeah.
Because that's what the body has taken to doing lately. And I don't realize it until I wake up in the middle of the day and I'm like, why am I so tired? And you go outside and it's stormy or whatever. But those are the days where I'm like, nope, we are unconscious now.
Yeah.
Your body's like, I'm going to protect you by sleeping through this.
My favorite days are the days you wake up and don't realize that it's been a whole day.
Uh-huh.
Like
it's 6 p.m. What are you talking about?
That's my favorite. I hate them. It's sarcasm. I wake up,
Awful.
I'll do something, and then I like lay down for some reason, like maybe just to even like wake Jen up, like crawl in bed and be like, wakey, wakey.
And then all of a sudden you're waking up.
You'll wake. Well, and I'll have these like fits of almost awake where like I open my eyes, look around, and go, okay, the sun's still out, and then I fall
Oh my
asleep
God,
again.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you're
then
like, what day is it though?
Exactly.
Is this like sunrise? Because that's really confusing.
Yeah. I did that the other day.
Where are we?
I thought I missed an entire day. I don't know how my brain got there. So like I went to bed at like 6.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep because I was really tired. And I woke up and it was dark. And my brain's like, okay, so it's dark. Jen's at the computer, so it's not in the morning, so it's nighttime. So it's been a whole day?
Oh no.
Even though it was
So
like
you just skipped
3 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I've been like surrendering to the naps a little bit here and there over break, which has been nice. But it's also like I'm just fatigued in general. So
Right.
it's hard to
You can't
feel
sleep
better.
fatigue away.
No.
There's like a
At
whole
all.
other like mood or
Ugh.
it's like its own entity.
Mm-hmm.
Like people like to assume it's the same as just being tired, but it's
No.
It's
It's literally if I like lived my life stoned on Benadryl all the time.
Yes.
That's what fatigue feels like. It's like when you blink, you have to pry your eyeballs back open.
Mhm.
That's the kind of fatigue that we're dealing with here.
Side note, I remember when I used to have to like take sleep meds all the time to like sleep. That shit would leave me so foggy all the time
Yes.
that I was angry every second of every day because I couldn't convey my thoughts properly.
Yep. Oh, I'm an asshole when I'm on Benadryl.
Right, because you like
I'm because I'm aware that I can't cognitively do what I'm supposed to be doing, and the brain is like sleep,
exactly.
only sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get mad about it, and then you're like, but I have words and I know how to use them, but I can't. And also, I'm mad at you for making me think about stuff when I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like I'm done. Go away.
That's it.
Yeah. But then I don't know. They're like, it's avoidance. And I'm like, but it's just an exchange. I'm like, I'm gonna do this thing regardless. Because I'm gonna hurt tonight anyway, regardless.
I think if you came to them with that point of this is what avoidance looks like for me,
Right.
that they'd be at least they'd frame it better.
Right. Well, I'm worried that they're gonna take it and frame it from like you're avoiding the crash. But if you weren't avoidant, you wouldn't have a crash.
Right.
And that frustrates me because I'm like, nothing I have ever done in my life has been able to not have a crash. Like I'm going to crash on some level, some way, especially when meds are wearing off.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not doing anything anymore and the brain's not busy. I'm going to have a crash. There's going to be a crash no matter what.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just not ready for it. I'm like, I want to do that later.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now. But yeah, maybe I can bring that to them. I don't know where we're going to be next week, though.
Yeah, no.
Should be interesting. Especially because it's only Jackie this week, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because Eli's out of town.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know. Avoidance is not what we do, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, all right.
That's
Let's talk about baseline then.
Okay.
Because you were talking about how you were trying to explain
Oh, yeah.
your baseline versus like other people's.
Yeah. So this is somebody who's talking about like how basically I could go like something in my body could go wrong at any time.
Yeah.
And they consider that to be an emergency, whereas I consider that to be Tuesday, right? Like, oh, you almost fainted. Like that's a data point when reality is like, no, it's not.
Right.
But they want to measure, and this is the thing with like well people and what we were talking about before with using mobility aids and things. They're taking those data points and applying them totally wrong.
Yeah.
Because they're using a normal person's baseline, like not normal, but you know what I mean, like a person's baseline where almost fainting is a really big deal.
Right. When
Right?
a healthy person suddenly blacks out for no reason.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
But for me, that's not unusual. It's
Right.
not exceptional. Like that is just something that happens because it happens.
Yeah.
And we know what it is. So it's not like terrifying, and we know it's not a heart thing, and we know that due to the conditions that we have and POTS specifically, which is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which basically means that your blood pressure drops and your heart rate increases. Because you can't regulate because your autonomic nervous system is broken.
I'm on a ton of meds to try and fix that.
Yeah. And sometimes comes with like an adrenaline dump too, which is super annoying.
Side note.
Yeah.
As you get older, have the adrenal dumps like slowed down?
Yes.
Because I've kind of noticed that like over time that it's becoming less and less prevalent.
I don't get those like, well, I had one the other day and it shocked me because it's been so long since I've had one
it was, like startling,
that.
Right? Like,
yeah. Where you're like, why is all of this? But it was interesting because I think what I triggered it for sure. Because it was the 3rd of July or something, and the dogs were in my room because they were barking and like fireworks are going off. Yeah. Because they have been all week and blah, 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 blah. And I was sitting like in my room watching TV, and every once in a while and just out of random, my dog would bark, and it was just one loud bark. Yeah. And it would make me jump. And then that kind of led into the crazy tachycardia, adrenaline dump, trying to re-regulate thing. Yeah. So, yeah, but they have slowed down, I think.
Yeah, I remember them being
as much.
Like more than once a day. Like it was daily, multiple times.
Yes.
Now it's so much better.
Yeah. Well, and even with the POTS, like I know when I'm flushing, and like other people, it's my tell now. It's like, oh, you good? You good standing? I was standing all right, because my ears will go bright red. But I didn't think ahead as to how lay people would experience our suffering.
Right.
When it's constant.
It's because we approach it from that angle of people who are chronically ill. And we just assume it'll work out.
Right.
When we're dealing with people who are well. So. Right.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It's just not a problem I thought we'd have. Yeah. Well, and I feel like my self-care has been better, not worse.
Oh, definitely. Well, that's the thing. Part of doing more self-care is you being vocal about it.
Right. Well, that's exactly it. Yeah. My self-care is in being vocal. Like, I have to be loud.
You're stating what's going on. You're letting everyone else know. Like, it's it's what you have to do. Yeah. It just looks like you're
a crazy person.
Right. It looks like things are going real bad for you.
They're like, she
went from sitting there pouting in the corner every day to being like, God, life sucks. I think she's in this shit.
And then she fell down.
And then I called an ambulance, and then she beat the shit out of me.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, no, self-care's been better. Yeah. I think for both of us. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm actually resting.
Right? Which is huge. For both of us. Either of us. I did a lot of resting when I was sick too. Yeah. Where I was like, I want to do stuff, but I don't want to make it worse.
The worst part for me was when everyone was like, Chris, you need to rest. But some of the people who were telling it to me, very hypocritical, when they would approach me and say, you need to rest, sir, and be like, seen a mirror lately? She's like, nah, it's fine, G.
I said nothing. I don't know what to tell you.
Not true.
Did I ever tell you to rest?
Yes.
Probably a lot. Did you need to rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
But so did you.
But I'm doing that now.
Now? I'm talking like 6 months ago. And you're like, I've been doing this whole time. What?
Well, then I was like, if I stop, I'm going to die. Yeah. That was hard times. I was like, I need to just keep crawling. Yeah. Please just make it to the finish line.
It's interesting to think about, actually, how much progress we've made mainly by talking about it and by having more information.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like learning some stuff from your neurologist really helped. And then just talking about it casually.
Yeah. Well, and acknowledging that like what we go through every day is not just pain.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like pain is one aspect of it, which I think is probably why group frustrates me so much, is because like we're talking about PTSD and pain and it feels like nothing else. But then when I'm like, part of my problem is dysautonomia, I feel like othered almost. Yeah. Where they're like, oh, well, that's not pain. You're like, okay, but I can deal with pain. I've been doing it for a very long time. I can handle the pain. I need a break every once in a while. That'd be great. Like, nice, cool. Like, if I don't have to go through pain, awesome. But then there's so many other aspects that make my life so difficult.
Right.
Like fatigue, so difficult. If I could function without fatigue, I would have a master's degree.
We wouldn't have a podcast, so. I'm just saying, we both would have been more successful in our younger adult era.
Maybe.
If we weren't fatigued as much as we were.
Like the fatigue and the brain fog and the dysautonomia and the MCAS and the movement disorder. Like, there's so many aspects to what we go through every day. And all of those weird little symptoms are within our baseline. And I had to explain to my husband, I was like, none of them equal death or indicate death.
Right, exactly.
We have EDS, therefore we get to be in pain for a very long time into our old years.
Yep.
So there's that.
Well, and as you get older, you'll be less flexible. That's good. You're gonna just become a mummy.
I'll become a mummy.
Slowly over
We're
time.
gonna merge. Fuse. We're gonna fuse everything. Just
all right.
Thusly.
I think we're good.
Yeah. Time to call it. All right. Sweet. Thank you for coming along. It was a very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And there were some other really interesting pieces. And I'm sleepy because I've been fed.
Yeah, we ate halfway through. That's where all the energy went.
Yes, and I need to eat some water. I need to eat some water.
You want to drink a burger later?
Drink a burger. Oh, no.
You didn't have to imagine it. You should have just gone with it.
You made me imagine it. You put that thought there.
I'm a monster.
I didn't want it.
What can I say?
And now it's there.
I have problems.
Okay, for real though. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you. We love you. Welcome to all of the new people. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, share, or subscribe, or all of the above. You know how you do. And then I guess we'll see you in the next one. Be kind to you. Be kind to others. Bye-bye.